There are evil energies surrounding this man. Wait, what'd he do? He used to be a youth pastor. Some people got weird vibes, and that's fair. It's rare to see a youth pastor with good vibes. What did Wendigoon do? Honestly, a lot of it is just the vibes. I needed more. I needed to hear some real reasons why people disliked this guy. I needed real arguments. I needed a living soy jack meme with a pedo mustache and bisexual lighting to string up and beat like a piñata. Enter In Praise of Shadows, aka Zane, a leftist video essayist straight out of the aging millennial hipster factory. Seriously, why do they all look like this? What genre of man is this? The mustache, the hair, the clothing, post-ironic neo-redneck? You know how some people talk about how women's taste in men gets all weird and f***ed up when they're on birth control? These are the men. I'm gonna call them birth control hot. I'm in no position to talk about style. I still do my makeup like it's 2009. Zane is a horror movie video essayist who for some reason decided to randomly go after Wendigoon and several other popular YouTubers and myself. His video starts off with him complaining that he got a lot of hate for his take about the movie Hills Have Eyes.
The hill people can be representative of anything that you want them to be, really. They can be Native Americans, and the hills themselves can be allegorical of them being forced back onto reservations.
You saw a bunch of cannibal mutants and thought of Native Americans? Anyway, he goes on to talk about how people were misrepresenting him and leaving rude comments.
The cruel and untrue things that you say about another person do in fact have direct impacts on them and the way that people culturally see them. Are these your own genuine original thoughts and criticisms that you have based on my actual words and things that I have done, or that maybe you haven't thought critically about what you were reading online, about other people?
And about how after this video, apparently a lot of his subscribers stopped watching him, and now he's poor and can't afford rent.
There was a month last year where I only made $500 in ad revenue. I can't live off that.
Which, if you're ever at this point, you need to get a job, or at least a side job. That's capitalism meritocracy. Either make better content, or get a job. Hey, maybe if we get communism, you can be the community YouTuber. No, I'm just kidding. Your ass is going to the mines! Then finally, an hour into the video, he gets to the topic, conservative horror movies. But then suddenly, seemingly out of nowhere, it was like he accidentally uploaded a schizophrenic meltdown.
If you're not aware, Wendigoon is a horror conspiracy theorist YouTuber with several million subscribers that, as you will hopefully come to see, should not be seen as the wholesome, southern-friendly dad persona that he has publicly constructed around himself in the past several years. And that, like many people who talk about being Christians as much as he does, has a dark past with deep ties to far-right extremism.
Ooh, this sounds pretty bad. He's not the heckin' wholesome YouTube dad we all thought. What could he have possibly done?
There are many things that are red flags that we could talk about, from the bizarre gun ownership.
Yikes! An American man owns guns? Not very heckin' wholesome, Wendigoon. He goes on to talk about how Wendigoon is rich, and therefore he doesn't respect Wendigoon's opinion on media.
He became exceptionally wealthy by the time that he was 19 or 20. I have no need or desire to hear 5 hours of opinions on Blood Meridian from a 21-year-old millionaire.
Like, what exactly is the correct amount of money to have where your opinions still matter? Like, if you suddenly got a bunch of video views and a bunch of patrons like you want, would we be justified in dismissing your opinions on movies? This honestly just feels like a conservative's idea of what a leftist is. Like, it's not just about hating people for having money. Like, what is Wendigoon's position of power in relation to the means of production? Does he own a business? Does he have employees he's mistreating? Not that I know of, he's just a guy who makes YouTube videos, like you. Only difference is, he's good at it and makes money, and you're not, and you don't. Okay, for real though, there's gotta be more, right? What crimes has Wendigoon committed? Well, to start, he committed the crime of having friends.
Wendigoon is very publicly friends with Turkey Tom. They have been seen together on multiple occasions, and I've seen online mentions that Tom was either at his wedding or at the very least was invited.
They have been seen together. I have seen online mentions that he was at his wedding. He's saying this shit like Turkey Tom is wanted for murder, and not like he just said some slurs on Discord when he was a teenager. Does this guy vet like every single person he's ever been friends with or spoken to? Hey, before you enter my house, I'm gonna have to go through your Discord history from 7 years ago. I was gonna say no, but I can see this guy doing that.
Wendigoon is publicly friends with Donut Operator, and even retweeted a photograph of the two of them hugging. Donut Operator is a gun-crazed, very far-right YouTuber with 4 million subscribers. His content is very pro-state, pro-cop, pro-gun, and pro-death to people who don't share his beliefs propaganda. For example, one of his videos is titled, "Predator Takes Shotgun to the Face."
I love the example he used is a literal pedophile being killed. He's very pro-death for people who don't share his beliefs. Take, for example, this pedophile. Is that what you mean by people who don't share his beliefs? Out of all the videos, why that one? You're not gonna find many people who are gonna be like, oh no, the poor child molester. Well, maybe you will, but most people won't. Also, he's trying to act like Donut Operator is just a complete simp for the police, and he's really not. Even in the screenshot you show in the background, there's like 3 whole videos in frame where he's clearly being critical of the police.
For someone who supposedly is so very anti-government, Wendigoon seems very comfortable with a man who makes his living worshipping violence committed by the state. And the only thing that one could reasonably gather from this picture of them hugging is that he too is a fascist bootlicker himself.
Actually, we can't reasonably gather anything because you haven't given us anything to gather. You label this guy very far right, and he might be very far right, but you haven't shown anything very far right. Like, take a step back and evaluate the bare basics of what you just showed us. Wendigoon hugging someone who thinks it's okay when a pedophile dies. Okay, but let's be fair. Maybe there's more. Maybe there's something worse. Let's see.
He is friends with Brandon Buckingham, a gun YouTuber who has been accused of threatening rape.
Okay, so first of all, let's rewind. This guy is not a gun tuber. This just proved this man did absolutely no research. I'm talking like 2 seconds going to this guy's channel amount of research. And for those who are unaware, that rape thing is a complete lie. It is a complete lie made up by, sit down, Sneako. Sneako made that up, and Sneako had to apologize and admit it was a lie because it was literal slander. I just love how in his little BreadTube tryout video, he uses Sneako as a fucking source. I mean, it's not like his other sources are any better. His other sources being Reddit. He got like 90% of this information from a thread about Wendigoon in a drama subreddit called R YouTube Drama. This man like borderline plagiarized Reddit comments. Source, pee-pee-poo-poo-123 and Sneako. Nice job on the research, you fucking hack. Also, I love the screenshot he's using. This you, bro? This you showing sympathy to someone whose grandfather is dying?
He has collaborated with Nick Crowley, who constantly makes money through the most morbid and shameful true crime content, of showcasing the last minutes of people before they are suddenly and unexpectedly killed.
So I don't know much about this guy, but it seems like your issue with him is that he makes true crime content. I mean, personally, I'm not a huge fan of true crime content, but it's extremely popular on YouTube.
Crowley is similar to Wendigoon, in that on the surface they seem fairly edgy, but clean enough. But then you notice that he follows less than 200 people on Twitter, and among them are the same circle with names like Wendigoon, Plagued Moth, Turkey Tom, Mr. Ballin, and Donut Operator.
On the surface, they look clean enough to pass the vibe check, but then you look closer and notice he follows people who don't pass the vibe check.
These people hate the police, and yet they're always like, sir, I'm gonna have to take a look at that Twitter follow list. Just absolute cop behavior. ACAB includes the follow police.
Wendigoon is publicly friends with Brandon Herrera, who has made jokes that implied that he was sympathetic with public shooters who killed leftists. I've also seen people insinuate that Herrera was with Wendigoon in the days of being part of the Boogaloo movement, but I cannot find substantial proof on if this is true or not. But I've seen several comments saying this, so online it is at least culturally believed to be true.
Hey guys, I heard Praise of Shadows a dog. No, I don't have any proof, but it's culturally believed to be true.
He is friends with Oompaville, a gun-obsessed content creator.
Oompaville! What the hell did Oompaville do? He's not even political whatsoever. I guess that's the problem, isn't it? But no, you're a bad person if you shot a gun even once. This is America. That's like saying you're a bad person if you ate a cheeseburger. His other example of Oompaville being bad is making videos about Nikocado avocado, as if anyone and their mother has not made a Nikocado avocado video. This is ridiculous. There has to be more.
He is friends with Mutahar.
Mutahar? Mutahar? Really? If someone can't be friends with Mutahar, they can't be friends with anyone. That dude is like so not problematic.
And has recently showcased a great deal of transphobia in his most recent video.
Okay, nothing in Mutahar's video was transphobic at all. I don't even know why I have to entertain this. Simply talking about a trans person isn't transphobia, and I wish that we could like move past this and just treat trans people like human beings and not like these like delicate little angels that we need to like step on eggshells around. It's really weird.
who argued against Andrew Tate being deplatformed from social media websites.
He believes in the concept of free speech for everyone. Wow. Just like the Nazis. This is what you're using to paint Mutahar as a bad person in order to paint Wendigoon as a bad person. You're running out of paint, bro.
Wendigoon is publicly connected to the Internet Historian, and is even